today's video, I wanted to make a little quick video on some tips on how to sleep better. So let's just jump straight into the first point. I know the first step is going to be quite obvious, but having a sleeping schedule is a wonderful idea. When you have a sleeping schedule, it just makes it so much easier to fall asleep. Of course, this can be anywhere from like going to bed at 10, waking up at 6. That is currently my sleeping routine. But if you go to bed at 3 AM and wake up at like 10, 11, that's fine too. I definitely recommend it being a bit more natural to, you know, the natural sunlight. Cause when it's summer, I know it's like a lot lighter. You shouldn't go to bed later just because of the sun. I mean, if we are speaking of like a perfect yes, it would be more ideally for our bodies to go to bed once, you know, it starts getting dark and waking up when the sun is rising. But of course that is extremely unrealistic. I also wanted to talk about if you have a job that makes it so you have to wake up later or earlier than what your current sleeping schedule is. That's fine, that's life. But as soon as you're able to wake up your preferred time, you should definitely do it. Let's for example say you have to go into work at 1 PM or something like that, and you normally wake up at 8 AM. Just because you can, don't sleep until like 10, 11, 12 just because you can and you can sleep extra. You shouldn't do that. You should still be waking up at 8, and then you'll just have a little bit of extra time for yourself, and who wouldn't want that? And if you're curious, my current sleeping schedule is I go to bed between 9 and 10 PM. Really depends on the day, but usually around 10 I am there to sleep, and then I wake up between 6 and 7 AM. Teenage me would have been like, what the fuck? It's just natural for me now, so I guess that's that. My second tip is including some form of physical activity in your day-to-day lifestyle. I'm really bad at including physical activity on my days that I am not at the gym. I definitely want to improve on that and go on more walks and generally just be more outside. Any form of physical activity will be plenty. You do not have to go to the gym 6 times a week, lift heavy. You do not have to do that if you don't want to. You can also just simply go on some walks a couple times a week, or preferably every single day, but you do what's best for you and your schedule and your life. Some of you are probably gonna hate me a little bit for this, but not being on your phone, so that's TV at night. Sometimes there is exceptions with the TV one. I will rarely say there is an exception to be on your phone unless you don't have a TV, but we should definitely be limiting the time we are spending on our TV screens and phone screens at night, because in general you are just going to be filled with media right before bed, and we want to do something more relaxing. For example, reading, which I will get into later. But if you do absolutely want to watch TV, make sure it is something relaxing. Do not go and watch a very extreme video like Mr. Beast that's very hypey and very in your face. Like, watch someone, it can be a YouTuber, it can be just simple vlogs that's just vlogging, you know, anything that's not in your face and very screaming and loud, because that's just gonna wake up your brain. It's the same as like watching a horror movie before bed, but like you can definitely watch a comedy movie or comedy show or a show you watched a million times, or even like a kids movie. Whatever works for you. Number 4 is optimizing your bedroom. I read this book about sleep by, I forgot his middle name, but his name is Nick, and he talks about in the book that if you want like a perfect sleep environment, you should definitely have a very clean room, and by that I mean like no paintings, nothing abstract, just very bland. And I understand the point he is making with that, but for me, if I had to sleep in a very basic room, I think it would be harder for me to sleep. For me, having a comfy space that feels like me and is covered with plants, which by the way are very soothing to the eyes, because green is a very soothing color, it's just gonna make it a lot more easier to fall asleep when you have an environment you like. And of course, having a clean space, and by that I mean not messy. Ideally you would be sleeping in a very clean environment where, you know, there's not dust everywhere. I know this can sound weird, but if you didn't make your bed all day and you've been in your room all day, doing whatever. Just making your bed, even if you have to go to bed in like 10 minutes, it's just gonna feel so rewarding going to sleep. Also something I do if I've been laying in bed, especially around nighttime, I will actually make my bed and, you know, wash my face, brush my teeth, shower, and do all those things, and then I can come into my bed that's clean and made. My fifth tip is having a skincare routine and a shower. I know those are two different things, but for me, I love a good nighttime shower. It's just super wonderful, and it's just overall very nice. There is something about taking a warm shower a couple hours before you have to go to bed will actually cool down your body temperature. If you're a morning shower person, just skip this tip, but also having a skincare routine is just gonna make it way nicer. I think everybody should have a skincare routine for both morning and night, and I definitely think your nighttime routine should be a little bit more, you know, a few extra steps, just because why the hell not? Number 6, I'm literally just gonna run over this. Reducing caffeine at night. You should definitely reduce caffeine at all. It's not very healthy for you. I mean, there are benefits of caffeine, of course, but you should just be reducing caffeine at all. I think we all know why. It's just, you know, it's just not good. It's just gonna stop your melatonin process and making it more difficult to sleep. That's literally it. And my final and 7th tip is listening to a guided meditation guide or meditating on your own. This is something I personally really want to include in my own routine, even if it's just 10 minutes every single day. It's just such a nice way for yourself to relax and, you know, just fall asleep really. If I listen to a guided meditation, I am so tired after 2 minutes. And I get bored after 2 minutes meditating, but I definitely want to include it more, and especially with crystals, because crystals are nice. And my final tip is reading before bed. Do I really have to say anything? Reading before bed is just very nice and comforting. You can pick any book you really want. I wouldn't recommend any informative books, like any self-help books. I personally wouldn't recommend that, because they do take a bit more brain power to understand sometimes. Really depends on the book, of course, so just pick a fiction book. Can be anything really. It can be really whatever you want. It can be an audiobook too if you want. But yeah guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I'll hope to see you all guys next time. Bye!